Hey you guys, I am making a video on different types of hair that dolls can come with because Fee wanted me to, and I don't think I'm going to be editing this video very much. It's probably just going to be a long block of text. So actually, before we start, I know you guys love to hear me talk, right? So I wanted to start recording again. I used to make long form videos because I realized that the short ones I was sending to my friends, and this started when I moved to Virginia, I think. I realized that the short ones I was sending to my friends were getting spammy and annoying, and I kind of stopped doing that when I don't remember when or why I stopped, but I did stop at some point, and I kind of went back to sending spam videos if I felt like if I felt like talking. Maybe I should edit this. I look good. Wait. Anyway, so doll hair types. I'm gonna be talking about 3 main hair types because there's technically 4. I mean, there's technically a lot more, but there's 4 ones that are usually used in Playline dolls, and since I don't have very much experience with nylon, and it seems like they don't really use it that much anymore, I'm not going to be talking about it. And this would be a lot better of a video if I had a lot of dolls to show off, but I don't. So we're gonna have Laguna nice and brushed out here, and oh shit, I threw my cat's ball in the trash instead of for fetch. Don't look at my feet. Lippy. Hi. Okay. Did you guys see that? Please excuse the state of this bedroom. I don't have any furniture, so you know, stuff should be coming on the 11th and 12th though. Isn't that fun? So hair types. There are 3 main ones that Monster High uses: Saran, polypropylene, and Kanekalon. Sorry, I was thinking of nylon too hard, and I was like, but they don't use nylon anymore. Anyway, in terms of what people like, Saran is definitely at the top of the list. There are some serious Kanekalon truthers out there, but for most people, Kanekalon falls in the middle. There's also some very serious Kanekalon haters. I think they're just racist, personally, but so the hair that I'm currently brushing is Saran. It's considered the highest quality of doll hair because it feels very soft and real. It styles really well. It takes heat very well. It can withstand temperatures up to like 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Whereas, for example, and that's a temperature that human hair is often done at. Always use heat protection on your real hair. If you're ever using any type of heat tool on your hair, heat protection always. On dolls, you can use like up to 400 on Saran hair, and it flattens beautifully, it boil washes beautifully, it curls beautifully. It's nice and smooth. This doll is straight from the factory, so she has a bit of grease residue in her hair. And Fee was actually mentioning how some of their Barbies had like greasy hair that they came with, and they do put grease on most dolls' hair before they leave the factory. It's just like part of the process, but I always do a nice shampoo for all my dollies pretty much the moment they get home. The only time I don't is if they have very tight curls that I don't really want to redo. And with really tight curls, you like often don't need to boil wash them. You don't need to wash them at all because there's less grease in tightly curled patterns. And what's actually interesting, never mind, this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This is not important. That's not what we're talking about. So anyway. Okay, I think I remembered why it took me forever to make videos, because I would record for a long time and I would have to cut out so much because I am constantly giggling or getting distracted by something. I'm supposed to be talking about hair. Okay. Saran is really nice. It's super soft, it's super smooth. It feels pretty realistic to, I'd say it's one of the more realistic hair fibers out there. You can definitely tell that it's plastic when you're working with it, but it doesn't have, it's very flexible. It doesn't break very easily. So the fibers are nice and strong. It can be boil washed multiple times without damage. It can withstand temperatures up to 400 degrees. You can straighten it, you can curl it. It's a wonderful hair texture. You can get silky smooth results with it. It's very soft. You can see I brushed out Laguna here, and because her hair was styled with a bit of a wave, she's got a lot of volume right now. And I am going to give her a boil wash because she has got some crazy crimps back here that don't look very intentional. I'm going to give her a boil wash. Eventually, I'm going to be styling her with a very large teased Gyaru hairstyle. So her hair is going to straighten out, but it's going to be temporary. Now we can talk about, actually, here is one of my SpongeBob Barbies. This hair type, this is a really high quality saran that this doll has. This is a really high quality saran that this doll has, and you can see it's where's the camera on this thing? Right there. It's freaking gorgeous. Doing my freaking makeup. It is super silky soft. It feels softer than any human hair I have ever touched. Yeah. The thing is, though, doll hair over time degrades and breaks down. With this specific saran, it's very... What am I fucking talking about? The older your saran is, the more prone to breakage it is. When I was restyling my two SpongeBob Barbies, there was a lot of breakage. And it's very sad to see, but it's really not something you have to worry about all that much. Newer dolls, it's not really a big problem. Let's talk about polypropylene and why everyone hates it. Let me show you an example of a doll with poly. Now, poly is the cheapest fiber to produce. Where's your ball, baby? Here it is. Go get it. Polypropylene is the cheapest fiber to produce. So it's very common to find it on dolls. Except the thing is, it fucking sucks. Now, you might look at this caddy and think, wow, she looks beautiful. And you're right. It's because I worked really hard to make her that way. The thing about polypropylene, it fries at a very low temperature. At 180 degrees Fahrenheit, polypropylene begins to frizz really tightly. Excuse me. It begins to frizz at the ends and give the impression of like horribly split ends. Like if you were a person, it's like, oh my god, girl, get a trim. That's what polypropylene looks like if you use too high of a temperature on it, which can be hard sometimes. If you're trying to boil wash, the boiling point of water is 212 degrees, meaning you have to get under a boil to do this hair without damaging the fiber. It's also incredibly prone to breakage, and like gentle pressure can break the strand completely in half. Babe, you have a ball. You don't need to play with a random rubber band. Where's your ball? Stop it. So I'm going to show you a close-up of Caddy's ends, and you'll see the frying problem that I'm talking about. I have boil washed this doll, and I use too high of a temperature because it's so easy. Sometimes it's even lower than 180 degrees, depending on altitude. It's also very hard to measure water temperature if you don't have a tea kettle, an electronic tea kettle that can read temperature for you. And sometimes those aren't even accurate readings of the temperature. Hi, baby. You're so cute. You're so cute. My two babies are so cute. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Let's see. It doesn't look that bad when I put it up to this camera, but it's not a very high quality camera. I trim a lot of my ends when I have poly. Let's see. Oh, my skin is like the wrong color for this. There we go. Can you see how her ends are kind of frizzed and coily and just not looking very good? I have some dolls with way worse hair. Caddy is, she's a survivor, for sure, because I love her, and I'm gonna do a partial reroute on her. Honestly, most people in the doll collecting sphere, people who have poly, like, when they buy a doll with poly, so many people just reroute them immediately. Like, it's crazy. And I don't want to do that because it feels like a waste of hair. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's shitty hair, but it's still hair, and it's pink. So I'm actually gonna root a couple highlights into her, either with a light pink or a white or a silver or something, because I did like the streaked look that the tinsel gave her, but I fucking hate tinsel. Oh, I hate tinsel. I hate tinsel. Don't even get me started on tinsel. I'm not good. Don't get me started on tinsel. The other thing about poly, it feels cheap. It feels like a Party City wig, because they're made of the same thing. It feels really plasticky when you run your fingers through it. And this girl has had 2 boil washes, a shampoo, and a condition. It feels cheaper. You can tell. I mean, it's hard for the season. It's not. You might not be able to tell if you're new to dolls or new to hair fibers, but I think anyone with a lot of experience in the area would be able to tell you. Another thing why poly sucks, it tangles very easily. As I am running my hands through Caddy's hair right now, I am catching on tangles. Even though her hair is straight and completely brushed out, I still catch lots of tangles. And that's due in part to the way that the ends tend to deteriorate really fast. The other thing about poly, super prone to breakage, especially in storage. If you live in a hot area, and this is true for pretty much every part of dolls because they are made entirely of plastic, don't store your dolls in your attic if you live in a hot area. They're going to be melted. They're not going to be melted completely, but their hair is going to fry and break. Their glue is going to seep out and get in their hair and make it really gluey. Their plastic, their vinyl head will become discolored. If it's hot enough, their body parts might start melting. Now, it's inevitable sometimes. And some of those issues can be fixed, truly. But, honestly, if you have dolls, which I don't think any of you do anymore, but if you have dolls and they're in the attic, get them out of there. Rescue them. Because they don't deserve to live like that. You can see, like, the top of her hair is, like, very nice looking. It's got a nice shine to it. But then as you get to the bottom, it gets duller and, like, flatter and frizzier. It's not a good look. Another reason why Polly sucks, it holds its shape forever. The thing about Saran, if I were to dip this Laguna into boiling water, all of this hair would immediately become straight. It would be amazing. It's kind of incredible. It's like magic the way it happens. This Frankie has had numerous boil washes and is still springy as fuck. This Frankie needs a flat iron so bad, but I don't have a flat iron on me, so I can't actually fix them and make them my cutie pants supreme that I want to make them. And honestly, when I try to flat iron it, it might completely ruin the hair because I don't even know if my flat iron goes low enough to deal with this. But I like the color of this blend. It's nice. It's it looks dark blue on camera, but it's actually a blend of like a normal blue and black strands. Kind of see it a bit better when I go into the light here. It's a cute color. I like it a lot. But it's so springy. Like, your head looks huge. Your head looks fucking huge, bro. And I just don't, I don't vibe with that. Did I mention it feels cheap? It feels cheap as hell. It's like, ugh. And the worst part is, a reason why a lot of Monster High fans are actually very mad at Mattel is that they release these dolls in the Skulltimate Secrets collection. And these dolls cost $30 fucking, okay? And that's like a base price. If you live overseas or in a place with high taxes, the price of those dolls could easily go up to more than $30. And if you're giving me a $30 doll, that doll should have a hair fiber that doesn't feel like shit, is the thought that many Monster High collectors have. I agree. I don't like Polly. Leave it on the cheaper dolls. I think if you're paying $30 for a doll, it should be Saran because it's nice, you know? I don't think I hate Polly enough to be like, it should never, ever, ever, ever be used in a doll ever. Because it has its places. If you need to cut costs and cut corners on doll production for a budget doll line, especially in a children's line or a line targeted at very small children, I think that polypropylene is a fine route to take. Many kids don't really care that much about the state of their doll's hair. I certainly did. But, you know, look at where I'm at now. Let me show you an example of a doll that I would not shampoo and condition immediately. Don't look at my feet. Here's my Claudine, and this is polypropylene hair. Her curls are really tight, and if I shampooed and conditioned, all of her curl definition would be almost completely lost. And it would be very hard. You would have to, the thing about curly headed dolls is that they are about as, they need about as much care as curly headed humans. Meaning if you want a very, I'm forgetting words. Hi. If you want a very defined curl, you have to style it that way. You can't just wash and then dry, because what happens when you do that, you get frizz, you get undefined curls. And not to say that's not beautiful, and in some dolls that is very gorgeous. Dolls that have a really tight curl pattern, but but not a defined one, very gorgeous. I have tons that are on a boat right now, and they'll get here soon, and I can show them to you. I love my Afro dolls. I think they're so gorgeous, and I really love that more companies are expanding in the textures that you can get from dolls. But because polypropylene is such a nightmare to work with, I would not do a wash and style on the Claudine unless I was very, very confident and had a lot of time on my hands. Because I think her cute defined curls are very cute, and I would want to keep them defined. And honestly, they could be more defined, and I could make them more defined, but it would take 3 years probably. Off my life, it would probably take like at least 2 days of meticulously individually curling each one and making sure that the definition is there. And you can buy pre-curled doll hair. A lot of people do Reroots, and Dolly Planet and dollyhair.com, they both sell pre-curled nylon hair, which is so awesome and fun. It comes in, I think the largest is 5 millimeters, and then this is about 5 millimeters, by the way, and then 3 millimeters, and then there's 2 and 0.5 for like really tight, and then there's S curls too. Very gorgeous. They also sell pre-braided hair for micro braids. Very awesome. I love black people. Kanekalon. I don't know very much about it. I don't have a lot of dolls with Kanekalon because Mattel doesn't really make them with Kanekalon anymore. People say that it's too high maintenance. They're lying. They're wrong. You just need a little water to help you along. Kanekalon is really nice. Again, I don't have very many dolls with Kanekalon, and I don't have one here to show you an example of, which is unfortunate. But it is still very nice. This video is 21 minutes long, and I feel like I'm gonna have to edit some of it down. But I don't want to. In the group chat, if you have any questions about dolls that you want answered in a long form video, let me know, and I will answer them. And I love you. And my dollies love you. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a minute. Love. These are from the Skulltimate Secrets line, Hauntleywood Mysteries, by the way. It comes with these 3 dolls. They're $30 each. Don't buy them? I don't know. I am not immune to propaganda, clearly. This doesn't need to be going on anymore. You guys think I'm annoying. I think that's why I stopped recording videos like this. Love you.